Hi everyone, it's Roisin Anson. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make author related content and I've just got my wallpaper done. I'm so happy. My dad just finished this wall. Me and my sister painted the two walls that needed painting, and then I'm having both of the opposite walls wallpapered. This one's been done so far because it was the worst wall. If you go back to some of my earlier videos, you'll see that I used to have wardrobes, built-in wardrobes, and I took them out and it ruined my walls. So now I've got some really pretty wallpaper. You can't really tell, but it's pink and you can see the stars and it's got some little dots and stuff in it. And so my room is pink and grey, so it really kind of goes, that'll be the only gold in the room because they are little gold stars. But yeah, it's very cute. So this video is my Preptober video. It's me explaining my project and what I plan to do in the month of November. In the month of November, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing. Kind of. So I'm working on book 2 of my Project Wolf series. Book 1, I've just gone through the edits and it's going to be going off to beta readers within the next couple of weeks. So that's off the table. So I'm going to be working on book 2 of Project Wolf. But I'm quite a fast drafter. So I'm planning on starting my book early. So I'm pretty much starting my book now. The next video you'll see is me plotting my book. It's pretty much plotted. I'm just going to explain that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be pretty much starting my next book next week. For those of you who have not met, this is my dog. Whisper. Come on, say hello. This is Whisper. He's mine and he just likes to lie there. So if you hear crying and that sort of stuff, it's him in my videos. Or it could be some of my other dogs. We've got 3 dogs. And in the video, because I've already done the voiceover and sort of stuff, so I'm just coming into do the intro and outro. And just to let you know, you hear the little paws on my hardwood floors throughout the entire video, so I apologise for that. Okay, so like I was saying, book 2 will be starting next week. So we're currently on the 7th of October. I'm planning on starting my book on the 9th, which is Monday next week. So I'm got about 3 weeks before NaNoWriMo even starts. So my plan is I'm going to have already written about 30 to 40,000 words of the book already. I reckon it's going to be about an 80,000 word book. So if that is the way and I'm already at 40,000 words, I only need another 40,000 to go. So I will be working predominantly on book 2 of Project Wolf, which I've known as PW number 2. It's easy to remember, it's Project Wolf number 2. So that's my plan for the rest of the words, because I'm hoping to write 60,000 words, and obviously for NaNoWriMo you need 50,000, and if I think I'm going to only have 40,000, I'm going to need something else. So my plan is, once I finish the 2nd book of Project Wolf, I'm going to be working on the 3rd book of Project Wolf, which should get me however many more words that I need to get for Nano and my 60,000 word goal. So that's the plan. I will be doing daily vlogs for Nano, and I actually emailed Sarah Cannon at Heart Breathings to see if I could use the title NaNoWriMo Diaries, because I really like the sound of that and I wasn't sure if she'd had it copyrighted or something like that. So, sorry, my hair is annoying me. So yeah, but I can, so I will be starting NaNoWriMo Diaries 2023. We're on 2023. It's in October and I still don't know what year we're in, like really. So I will be doing NaNoWriMo Diaries 2023 and I will be hoping to vlog every single day. I might not write every single day, just with my chronic illnesses and that sort of stuff. I'm going to try to write every single day, but I might not. So if that's the case, I'll just go with you, take you through what I'm doing that kind of day. Most of it's probably going to be watching TV. If it's a rough day, like if it's a bad day and I'm not feeling very well, it'll probably be me watching TV, watching YouTube, that sort of stuff. So yeah, but I will be taking you along with me through the entire journey of my NaNoWriMo 2023 projects. So yeah, so now I'll take you through my planning of NaNoWriMo. I go through Heart Breathing's Plot Your Novel, where I plot as much of the novel that I know in the workbook that she's provided, and I go through her Preptober planner 2023 as well. And again, I've done a screen record of me filling in these spaces and then I've done a voiceover. Please ignore how bad this video might be, just because I've never done a voiceover before and I've never done a screen recording of that. Usually I sit down, do it and then film it like this. That wasn't the case this time. I wanted to get my planning done, but I wasn't feeling well enough to film, so I just did a screen record of it and then I did a voiceover. Again, it's my first time doing it, so I will hopefully get better, because I do like these styles of videos. So, but just bear with me for this video if it's not the greatest or that kind of thing. So we'll now go into me first plotting my novel on the Plot Your Novel with Heart Breathing's workbook, and then we'll go into the novel and I actually do my nano setup on the website in this video as well. So I will roll that now. I'm just starting off with the Plot Your Novel book from Heart Breathings. I'm first saying the name of my main character, age, hair colour, eye colour and height. Then I'm going to go on to what their deepest desires are, and my main character's deepest desire is to have powers or be able to shift into a wolf. I don't fill out this entirely, just to let you know. I do skip around some of it, like you know that I haven't made any other appearance notes, just because she hasn't really got any, and I have already done one of these sheets for my main character in book 1, so I already kind of know what she wants and all these sort of stuff, but obviously it needs to be different for every book, or partly different. So what they truly needs, my main character needs to be able to love and accept herself. And then the next question is what happens in their past to have hurt them or made them who they are now. Mine is my main character didn't shift or get any powers on her 13th birthday for witches and 16th birthday for werewolves, so she is as human as you and I are, a supernatural family. The next question is what do they now believe to be true about themselves because of this past pain. And mine is that she's weak and unlovable and that she can't protect her family. And this is the next part of it. What are they most afraid of due to their wound? And that's that she won't be able to protect her family and that she'll be alone for the rest of her life, and not be able to really help the ones that she wants. The next question is, what do they portray about themselves and what are their full self that they use as armour? Mine is that she's uncaring or harsh. What is their true self that they are deep down? And mine is that she's too caring, and can't remember what I wrote now. I did this the other day, sorry. That she's not strong enough. What are their true self? Or that she's strong enough on herself, not strength based on having powers and that sort of stuff. She's strong enough by herself without having them. Obviously she doesn't know that that's a progression that happens throughout the book. In this section I didn't do the goal, motivation and conflict yet. I discovered that in my book when I'm writing it. So I just did the character arc for the beginning of the book, and then the middle of the book. And for my character arc, she finds out a secret at the end of book 1 and she's hurt and betrayed by this secret that has been kept from her. And then in the middle, she's struggling with what she found out about the secret, if that makes sense. So she's struggling with the truth of finding out about this secret and how she can cope with the impact of this secret. And that's where she is in the middle of the book. I actually don't know what the character arc is at the end of the book, so I've skipped that. And in this part, I do skip parts of this as well and bounce around from Act 1, Act 2, Part 1, Act 2, Part 2 and Act 3. You'll see that I bounce around a little bit, especially in the one page. Just because I start at one part and then I figure out I need to put something there, and I jump around a lot in this bit. It's basically what happens in each of the book, what happens in the book, like each beat of the book. And I don't know all of my book. I'm a discovery writer, so I impart the parts that I do know. So I know where the opening scene is, because it goes from the beginning of the book to the second part of the book, to the second book. So at the end of the book, no. So the beginning of the second book is the end of the first book. There's no time jump or anything like that. It's gone from one book where it ends off in a cliffhanger to the second book. So I already know where they are in the opening scene. I know that kind of thing, and I know who her friends are and that sort of stuff. And then I know where they have to go to from the inciting incident. But that's all I know of the first book, the first act. I know that the team has to be fully created, but I haven't put that in there because I don't actually know where that's going to go. Now we're on to Act 2, Part 1, the first half of Act 2, where the midpoint happens at the very end. So I know that there's got to be some training with the new team, and they need to start actually looking for the book, which I've just put in. I don't know anything more than that. And I know what the midpoint is, which is where they find Rio, and then have to discover how to find the rest of the book, because it turns out that he doesn't have them, which is a mini spoiler, but you wouldn't actually know about it, that kind of thing anyway. So if you plan on reading this book, I'm really sorry. And like I said, again here, this is where I jump between the different points. So I started at the midpoint where I said find Rio, and then I went at the top and did the Into the New World beat, and then I went to the plan and that sort of stuff, but I haven't actually finished the midpoint, and you'll see in a sec that I'll go back to the midpoint to finish filling in the rest of the midpoint, which I've just started to do now. I can't remember what I wrote for this bit, but yeah. Honestly, I've never done a voiceover, so I'm sorry if this has come out really weird and that sort of stuff, so just bear with me, because as I said, this is the first time I've done a voiceover and this type of video where I've done it on a screen recording of my iPad and come and done the voiceover here. Now we're on to Act 2 Part 1, where I start to fill in what I know. Again, I don't really know that much about the middle of the book, or the end of the book actually. I don't actually know what happens in this book. And like I said, there's not much to fill in, and in Act 3 I only fill in the very end of the book where I know I have to introduce a new character. That's all I know about the end of the book. I only really know the beginning of the book, and that's because I've partially written some of it when I finished book 1 originally. It needs a bit of edits to do for the book 2 beginning, but some of it I'll bring in because it still works, as I said, because I finished at the end of a cliffhanger, so it's got to continue. Once we've finished this, we're going to go on to, this is the rest of the Plot Your Novel book workbook, and then we're going to go on to Heart Breathing's Preptober planner of 2023, and I'm going to start filling in that. I don't fill in all of the brainstorming bits because I don't really need to. It starts on this checklist which I go through and come back to fill it in. So now we're working on my time for November. So what time do I have? What time do I not have? On the 7th of October I have a hospital appointment on the night at 7 p.m. I will have already finished my writing for the 7th, but I know that I'm not going to be feeling too great, so I've decided to have a half day on the 8th and I have the morning off, just because I know that I'm not going to be feeling too great after driving quite a ways to get to the hospital and then come home. And again, like I said, it's at 7 o'clock at night, so I probably won't get back until about 9 o'clock on that Tuesday night, and I don't really want to have to be writing anything. And I apologise if you just hear my dog come in. I've got wooden floor and he's just walking on it. I also have put in 2 buffer days, just in case I need some extra time throughout November. I can have those 2 days off without it affecting my word score. So I've planned to write 60,000 words in November. I don't know if it's going to work. I've never actually done NaNoWriMo before. So my main goal is to hit 50,000, but if I can hit 60,000, that'd be even better. So I'm just going through and working out how many words I need each day, instead of, because it won't be the 60 and 67 that Nano recommend, because obviously I'm not writing 50,000, I'm aiming for 60,000, and here is me doing the math with the 3 days that I've taken out, because I just counted that day on the 8th to be a day off instead of it being a 1,000-word day. It was just easier for me to do it this way, and to do the 3 days off it would be 1,223 words. I'm going to round that up to 2,500 words a day, just because it's easier in my head for me to do that, and the math for me is easier to do. So I'm going to come over to the next page. I'm going to check it off first. And then I'm going to go over to the next page. Oh no, I'm checking off a couple of things. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm going to go over to the next page and fill in from there, that sort of stuff. So I do my sprint lengths 30 minutes with a 25-minute work time and 5-minute break. My average word count per sprint is 500 words. So my daily word count is 2,500 divided by 500 words per sprint, and that means it's 5 sprints per day. I usually do about 4 sprints anyway, so I'm only adding that extra sprint. So I don't think that would be too hard for me to do, and I will have all day to do that sort of stuff. So, and then we're going to calculate all of nano math. So in this one we're calculating the words, which we've already done, the word count per day. The next one is the number of sprints per day, which, as I said, we've already done that one as well. The next one is the number of sprints per day and how much time that is per day. So the number of sprints I need is 5. My preferred sprint length is 30 minutes, which I will add in a second, yeah. And that means it's 150 minutes, which is 2.5 hours, which I will add in a second, where I put 2.5 in brackets. So it would be 2.5 hours a day to do my words on average. The next one is how many sprints I need to win. So for the entire month, which, if I remember correctly, is 120 sprints. Let me just add that into the calculator. I made a mistake apparently. So yeah, it was 120. Yeah, I was right. 120 sprints to win nano for the entire month. Now I am working on my rewards and what rewards I give myself per that 10,000 words. So for my 10,000 words, I get a hot chocolate from Costa or Starbucks, or whichever one that I kind of want. For my 20,000 reward, I am getting, I think it's the morning off. Yep, I get a morning off whenever I want to take it, and not feel guilty about having that morning off. I can take it whenever. My 30,000 word reward is stickers. I've got some Christmas stickers that I've already purchased, but I get them for when I get 30,000. Excuse me. So I've already bought them, but I don't get them until I've hit that 30,000. And if I don't hit it, I don't get to use the stickers till next year. Which, to be honest, sorry again, my dogs, which wouldn't be too bad a problem because I've already got loads. And for my 40,000 word reward, it's candles. And then for 50,000, it's my Apple things. I have some stuff on Apple that I want to get. and if I hit 50,000 I get it. If I don't hit 50,000 I don't get to get my Apple stuff until July of next year, which is around my birthday, so it would be a birthday present, that kind of thing. Now we're on the meal planner, and it's like ideas of quick and easy stuff that you can make for in the month of NaNoWriMo. So for breakfast I've done scrambled egg on toast, cereal, and that was it apparently. And then for lunch I've done sandwiches, pasta, pizza and soup, I think. So they're kind of quick, easy lunch ideas that I can make, and it's quite easy to make. I think I skipped snack and dinner ideas just because we have whatever we have for dinner will be something that we make for as a family anyway, so it won't be too bad of a thingy for me to make. And then snack ideas is just whatever's in the house that I kind of fancy, so yeah, I kind of skipped both of those. And this is the brainstorming ideas, but I already know the idea that I wanted to use, so I didn't really need to do that. And then this is my NaNoWriMo novel, where you can do kind of what I've already done and plot the novel. I use the plot your novel workbook instead of this, just because I find that easier. And now we go on to my creativity toolbox. So the simple joys is just kind of what are the simple things that you like to do to boost up your joy when you're writing. So for me, mine's reading a chapter of my book. My current read, but I kind of go through a couple of different ways. And I was going to put RIP, and then I realised that doesn't quite read what I mean, what I was supposed to be saying, so I changed it to current read. Can't remember what else I wrote. Oh, going on a walk, taking a break, just a few minutes break, lighting a candle, some cosy clothes, changing into cosy clothes that I really enjoy wearing, and that is my favourite kind of feel good kind of thing, putting a blanket on, doing some planning, journaling, that sort of stuff. And I think lighting the candles on here as well. Yep, listening to music's one as well, just listening to some feel good music just for a few minutes, just to get me into the rhythm kind of thing. And then watching a favourite episode of my TV show, just one episode, just to get that creativity going again, and that feel kind of, what's the word, that kind of inspiration type of thing. Then we go into a small reward, something that would reinvigorate after. Oh no, this is a small reward every 30 days. So mine is chocolates, some Lindor chocolates and Ferrero Rochers. I have not spelt them right in this one because I couldn't figure out how to spell it, but I know what I mean. And I think that's just going to be my reward. It'll be, I get 30 of each, or 30 between the two, and then I can have one of those every day if I hit my word count, or if it's just I'm on track, if that makes sense. And this is emergency kind of motivation. So for me, watching an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer or an episode of The Big Bang Theory, one of my favourite episodes of NCIS, and another one would be Charmed, but I've got to add this to the list. So those are kind of motivation for me. Now we get on to me erasing the par numbers that I'm supposed to be at on those days and putting the numbers that I'm supposed to be at. I messed up a little bit on here, and you'll see in a minute. I just kind of put each day an extra 2,500, and I even do it on the day that I'm supposed to be, and then I take off 1,000 instead. I didn't do it very well. I've got to redo it, just because the way I've done it, I finish on, I think it's like the Saturday the week before, so like the 25th. If I kept it the way that it was, and I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to change it up and get it so that I finish my 60,000 words at the end of NaNoWriMo on the 30th, like it's supposed to be. But I'm not stressing too much about it, because I just know that I'm supposed to be getting 2,500 each day, and then I've got, like I said, 3 days off as buffer, all that kind of thing. So I'm not stressing too much about having it exactly, and you'll see in a second when I put it in, because I skip a bit and where I've already put it in. Like I said, I finish on the 25th at 61,000, which isn't right. I want to try and finish at 60,000 and that kind of thing, where I'm supposed to be. But I messed up a little bit, so I've got to go back and fix that. But for time's sake, you kind of see what I've done, where I've added it in instead. And then I go back to the checklist and tick off what I've done. I'd already prepped all my tools. It's all the same as what I did for book 1, so I don't really need to do too much for that. What I do need to do, which you'll see in a minute, is update the NaNoWriMo website, which is the next on the list. So in a second I'll take you over to my NaNoWriMo website where I join with a new novel, because like I said, this is pretty much the first time that I've actually done a NaNoWriMo on actual NaNoWriMo. I usually do the camps, or that's what I've done in the past, and that's because I was either at uni or I was having an operation and I wasn't sure when the operation was going to be, so I didn't want to start NaNoWriMo. I didn't end up having the operation in November, so I could have done NaNoWriMo, but I wasn't sure, so I just stopped. So this is the first time I've actually doing NaNoWriMo. So here's me inputting my extra details. So in here I will be adding, once I click it, yep, here, where I'm going to be drafting, and the genres, which is young adult fantasy. I wanted to also put science fiction, but it wouldn't let me. So, and then for my brief summary, I just put that it's book 2 in my Project Wolf series, and that they need to go and find the book. So pretty self-explanatory, just a simple sentence, about what needs to be added in this book. I will later on be creating a book cover designing for this, just to add on, just to make it look a bit cuter. But at the minute I don't know how to do that, so I need to figure out how to do that. And then I'm already in Facebook groups with sprints and that sort of stuff, so. And now we're prepping the novel. I know what project I'm going to write. I've already done the character sheets because I've done that in book 1. I don't colour code, so I cross that out because I don't really do that. I've only got one point of view, so I don't need to do that. I've outlined the main points, the main plot points. I need to create some index cards for each scene, at least Act 1. And I need to do some research. I need to create a map of my book 1 storyline so that I know the different places that book 2 will be. I also needed to prep my space, which I've already done. I have a location, which is my desk. I've got all the ergonomics from my chronic illness and that sort of stuff. I have that sort of stuff all sorted out, so you'll see in a minute that I highlight index card scenes and research because I need to do that. Again, I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs, they're now scratching on the floor. And then I add in here the to-do list, where I say that I need to create scene cards for Act 1 at least, and create that map for book 1 where each of my characters are, and the map of the land in book 1 so that I can extend it in book 2. But yeah, so that is the things that I need to prep still. So I will be creating some last minute prep videos later on in the month where I create my scene cards and I do a map of where they were in book 1 and where they're planning to go in book 2, and some tips that I think would be helpful if I was in the position of I had no idea what I was going to do and I needed to throw it together before NaNoWriMo actually started. So stay tuned for that video. I have got quite a lot coming up this month and I'll explain that in a minute. So yeah, that's everything. That's me getting ready for NaNoWriMo and my Preptober video. I will be doing some more Preptober videos, just me filling in the last little bits that I haven't done my prepping video, which might come in next. I might do my scene cards and the map in the next video. I'll see how I'm feeling. That might be another video later on in the month. Some more videos that I've got coming out this month is setting up my desk. I'm going to set up my desk for NaNoWriMo, and then what to do if you've been on break for a long time. So if you stopped writing for a while and coming back to writing, I have done that recently. Before I started my edits of book 1, I hadn't done anything really with my book since 2020, so it had been like 3 years. I'd come on and off with it really, and I think there's quite a few more I'm planning on trying to upload twice a week, so that'll be what you can look forward to from now. I will try to do it in a schedule of Tuesday and Friday, but with my conditions can't be guaranteed, and if I don't have a video and I'm not well enough, I'm not going to push myself to try and do a video, if that makes sense. I'd rather be okay for NaNoWriMo and that sort of stuff, and writing my novel, then making videos on me writing my novel. Does that make sense? So I will be prioritising my work, my author work, and being well enough for NaNoWriMo this year, then doing the videos. So it might be a bit sporadic, but hopefully there'll be at least one video a week. I'm aiming for 2, but it might just be the 1 video. So yes, I will actually be having another video come out tomorrow, which is my TBR for October. A bit late, considering we're, like I said, it's the 7th, so we're a few days in. But I'm going to do a TBR of like the spookeries and that sort of stuff that I want to read. And then I will have that out for tomorrow, and then my next video will be plotting my series. So yes, I will see you tomorrow for October TBR, and then next week on Tuesday for the plotting my series video. So bye, thank you for watching, and please subscribe and like the video if you haven't already. Bye.